Joe Adkins on the Little Caesars Hot and Ready Hotline on 107.7 The Franchise. Joe, let's start with Cavs Bulls. Is it cool for a player to put their coach on blast?
What's up, Zach? How's it going?
Hey, Joe. I hope you are too. Hey,
I don't know if he put him on blast by saying he changed the play. I mean, great players. I think great players are allowed to. I think that's happened before. I mean, I've seen that at the college level where, I mean, a player calls a play or whatever. But the deal is, I think in changing the play, David Blatt, I think the reason why he was going to have LeBron take it out is because, for one, he's the best passer, but the other guys couldn't get the ball in. I mean, with he tried James Jones taking it out, and they had to use 3 timeouts. And James Jones, on one of those occasions, had a guy wide open. He was gunshot, he could throw the ball. So I think he was trying to be safe and put LeBron to take it out. But, of course, you want your best player or the best player in the world to be taking the last shot. But J.R. Smith was shooting it pretty well, so maybe he was trying to run something just for J.R. to get him the ball because he had been hot in the fourth quarter. So, I mean, I've seen coaches. I played in the European game, so I've been in the game where the best player, guys been like, well, we want the best shot or the best passer, maybe the best player. He takes the ball out. I've seen that before, so it didn't shock me. But I was surprised that LeBron, he threw that out there.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It just, to me, it's not cool. But
I think it was more for his greatness rather than shooting at the coach, though. I don't think he meant it to take a shot at David Blatt. I think he meant it to be like, yeah, I'm the guy. I take big time shots. You guys used to say that I was scared of this moment. I called for the ball and I ended the game. I would think it was more for us to praise him and talk about LeBron having the guts to change the play, to take the shot. But I think it's reversed into people saying, well, man, if the coach called this play, now it's turned into this whole complete different deal. Well, I don't think he meant it like that. I think he just wanted more praise of taking the big shot in crunch time because for a long time, as you know, we criticized him. And I find it hard to believe that he's made 3 game winners, and that's the most we've seen by any player in 15 years.
Yeah, how about that stat?
Man, that really surprised me. And because, I mean, we've seen a lot of great games, but I guess when you go back, he's the only guy to do that. So that's a pretty interesting stat that they were throwing.
Well, wasn't it the stat on Friday after Derrick Rose hit the buzzer beater that was well, that wouldn't make sense. Didn't I hear on Friday?
It was the first.
That was for the playoffs. That was the most buzzer beaters they've had in a playoff as a whole.
Well, the stat I saw with Derrick Rose was it was the first playoff buzzer beater for the Bulls since the 90s.
For the Bulls.
Since Michael Jordan in the 90s.
Yeah, so say that wouldn't make sense.
Playoff, not even buzzer beater, game-winning shot in the last 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Since the 90s, like Jordan did it.
Yeah, and then when he hit the shot, it was also the most game winners in the playoffs because you had Chris Paul, he made 2. Derrick Rose
that's
made
right,
3,
yeah.
And then LeBron makes 4, and then you had Pierce, that's 5. So you had 3 in 2 days, or in about 3 days.
Yeah, you had Jared Bayless in the first round too, didn't you?
Yeah, and that was one. That was one as well. So that made the most that we've seen in the playoffs as a whole in hitting game winners. I mean, we've seen some close games, but I mean, no one had just did as many game winners as we've seen in this playoff.
Almost forgot about Jared Bayless. That was like 3 months ago because it was the last round of the playoffs because they take so damn long.
I knew he set us up for that one, Zach.
Yeah, I know. I know. You know how he does it. Joe Adkins with us on the Little Caesars Hot and Ready Hotline on 107.7 The Franchise. How close are we to an all-time low when it comes to this hack-a-person stuff, hack-a-bad free throw shooter stuff, or are you cool with it?
I mean, making free throws are part of the game. If that's going to be the rule, I mean, to get an advantage, you're playing to win an NBA championship. At the end of the day, after you raise that trophy, nobody's going to go back and say, well, they did this to win. This is why they won. And I heard you guys talking about this. I think Memphis is favorite. For one, I say that because they're big, and their big guys make free throws. See, the Clippers are in a luxury right now where when you go hack a DeAndre Jordan, Houston has two terrible free throw shooters.
Right. They've done it right back at some points in this series, too.
They have. Yeah, they've done it right. But you can't do that if you play Memphis. Zach Randolph shoots over 75% as well as Marc Gasol. So that's a huge advantage. And then if you hack a DeAndre Jordan and he goes off the floor, Memphis is going to pound you inside with DeAndre Jordan on the floor. Now, you take him off the floor, that's going to put the Clippers in some trouble if Memphis is able to get by this series.
Speaking of Memphis and Golden State, I'm getting a lot of people because I picked Golden State to win this series easily. I think I picked them in 5, so I'm already wrong on that. But a lot of people are basically saying that Golden State's dead, that Memphis has them figured out. How do you see that series moving forward? Can Golden State get back in this one?
Well, I had Memphis in the series anyway, just because I thought that they would be able to control tempo.
Joe, come on now. You had Memphis in the series because Tony Allen played at OSU. Let's be honest now, Joe. Come on.
No.
Homer.
Although I'm cheering for Memphis, I'm going to pick the team I think to win. I mean, I cheer for the Thunder every night, but when I think they're going to lose,
unless they
I say
play
they're
Memphis.
I think. So
unless they play Memphis, and then you root for the Grizzlies over the Thunder.
No, not at all.
Oh, okay.
I really don't cheer at all, but I have a team that I want to win. I've never been a guy that sits there and cheers and claps and all that anyway. But I thought once Mike Conley got back and he played it, I thought he could control tempo. And controlling tempo means, for one, he can defend Steph Curry a lot better than Nick Kalatis and Bano Ultra. So he can keep him in front and not allow Steph to just go crazy. Now you have Tony Allen and Mike Conley, guys that can defend the 1 and 2, and they're going to make shots. You have to understand that. They're going to make shots, but you have to make those shots tough. They're not going to be able to just get off as easy as they were in the regular season. So, and then I felt because of Memphis High, they can control the offensive end and keep Golden State out of transition. What you're seeing with Golden State and Atlanta is the exact same thing. They're playing against teams that are attacking them inside, so they can't get out in transition. Those teams are great when they're running up and down the floor. When you put them in the half court, it's a lot easier to defend those guys because you're not going to get all those wide open jump shots from Steph Curry and Klay Thompson unless they're in transition. Because of Memphis and Washington's offense, they eliminate transition dances.
All right, did you see this knockout?
Oh yeah.
That was pretty good.
Oh yeah. Well, if you know Canelo Alvarez, I mean, you know he's a knockout puncher, but you also know Floyd Mayweather dominated Canelo Alvarez. You know, it was an easy fight for him.
It was 2 years ago, though, Joe.
Yeah, it was. It was 2 years ago, and Canelo, he's a young fighter, up and coming. That's why, and I was telling Todd, we won't see that fight. I mean, he's young, he's hungry, he's one of the better fighters, and he's going to clean up 154. I think Canelo's able to clean it up, but at 160, I would like to see him fight Triple G, which will fight this weekend. You guys got to check him out. Gennady Golovkin. He's a knockout artist as well.
Kazunai.
I mean, once you guys see him, you would love to see those two get in the ring together. But Canelo would have to move up in weight class. So it's going to get interesting. Boxing, it's not dead. I mean, people love
dead.
UFC.
It is
No,
dead.
people love UFC. If people watched that fight the other night,
Give me 2 seconds. Show me the knockout, and that's about it.
I mean, well, then that's all you're looking for in UFC, to show you the knockout. I mean, that's all you're doing.
No, there is action
put
happening.
somebody-
We're not
put
playing
somebody
keep
in
away
the-
like Mayweather
yeah, there's a lot of
does.
action in the UFC. Dudes hug each other and roll
Yeah,
around on
I
the
was
ground
thinking
together
they're
like they're about to get it
rolling
on.
around.
Yeah, and they're not
They're not
broken
doing
up
anything.
every single time. They're actually fighting.
Yeah, they should be broken up because all they do is roll around and try to grab the other
That's
dude.
untrue.
Get his arm. Get
That's
him in a
untrue.
leg grip.
Me watching a dude go in an arm bar is not exciting to me.
No.
I mean, so I don't know. I mean, yeah, they get you on the ground, they wrestle, but it's not like of course you need someone in the face, you're going to get blood. I mean, Zach, I mean, That's not. But we're much angrier society now. I mean,
that's
we
right.
want people to go in there and kill each other.
Very angry.
Which is fine. And like I said, I'm a UFC fan, but I'm not as. I think boxing is a more pure sport than UFC. UFC, yes, is a much more action-filled event because I mean you're in there, and of course both guys. I mean, most of them wrestle or they have these techniques, and you're trying to get each other to the ground. But a lot of times when they get on the ground, they're not really doing anything. They're both trying to do something, but nobody's getting anything done. You have big-time fights. So, of course, it is. You do get the blood, and it is an entertaining thing. But I like to watch the guys that I like. I'm not a huge UFC fan where I get every pay-per-view, but the big-time guys, and then I like to watch, of course, my guy Daniel Cormier, who's fighting for the title again in a couple weeks. I watch those guys, and that's entertainment to me. But it's entertaining because I know him. That's my good friend. So, yeah, I'm much more...
Name dropper.
When he fights. No,
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
I mean, it's just the truth.
I know. I'm kidding. All right. 2 syllables, but from Joe Adkins before the end here. All right. 2 syllables. One at a time. I'll ask you 2 separate questions, 1 syllable each. Yes or no?
I was just say yes or no question.
That's right. Yes or no? Your first syllable.
Gotcha.
Have you ever scrapped a play that was called from a coach in the professional league?
Yes. I've done it in college as well.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
but I've done it in college.
Okay.
I mean,
okay. All right. Oh, that's good.
Joe, you need to quit scrapping my plays.
And
no,
final.
no. Well, it wasn't more of a scrap. It was more of we're going to do this, and then look at you. Is that what you want to do? I mean, Desmond Mason's been able to scrap a play. I mean, when you've earned the right to do something, I don't think coaches have as much. I mean, they're not going to be as definitive towards a guy if he's proven to make plays in that moment. I think that's a little overrated.
He scrapped your rules too, Zach.
Yeah,
the 2 syllable
you also
rules.
scrapped my game plan here. That was good too. Good job. And finally,
but you're doing a good job of trying to make it into something that it's not. I mean, the guy says, "No, I don't want that play. Give me the ball," and he makes it.
No, I wasn't trying to switch anything. It was in the interest of time, Joe. And finally,
I've seen you go overtime before. We're all right.
That's what she said. Mayweather Pacquiao, yes or no?
No.
Rematch, yes or no?
No.
Good job, Joe. See you later, buddy.
All right, fellas. You have a good day.
All right, man.